Welcome to another edition of KitSZN. We have a great edition here tonight. Fun interview for y'all in stored. But obviously, we are here to say hello and welcome to another week.
What's up, guys? We're excited to be here. We've missed y'all.
Yeah, in the whole week that we've been gone, we miss y'all. It's been a long week, so we're very eager to get started here tonight and really, I think, dive into a fun conversation and announce what's kind of a big thing that we got coming up, right? A big thing that we're launching.
Yeah,
So
big, important, meaningful synonyms.
yes,
Adjectives.
all those words. But obviously, we had to do something that's also quite important, and is to thank all of our lovely patrons who support us and the USL show. So, shout out to John Hunt, Frank Anthony, Christopher Cohen, John Fuller, Michael Foots, Joshua Duder, Noah Telford, Alberto Aguilar, Jeremy Churchman, Stephen Howard, Ryan Lacara, Tim Knotts, NF Reg 30, MOS, Kunal Patel, all of the Hedgehog, Andrew Towsley, Mad Cat Peel, Ryan Smetzler, Sandy Lester, William Lamb, Dylan Reed. This is Jim Laundra. I forgot about this. Josh, Matt B, David Horn, Luke Loudon, Don Garber, not the Don Garber, John Slanghord, and Doug Brooks. Shout out to all of y'all. And as Sidra Tail puts up, perfect show to listen to while Tulsa bunkers down for the snowpocalypse. Same here in Indianapolis. We're in like 15 some inches this weekend. So
same here in Missouri.
It's going to be a fun time here this weekend. So, but before we get started on our great interview here, we did want to just briefly mention something we are going to be starting here tonight. And that is, we are going to do a KitSZN garage sale. So basically any sort of merch, kits, gear that we can muster here on the USL show and KitSZN, we're going to sell those off at a price. There will be more information coming out here, and 100% of the profits will be going to the Immigration Law Center of Minnesota. We have some great things on the list. This man down here has a really cool Sporting KC kit that is signed.
Ooh, just boom.
Yeah.
Signed team.
Yeah.
And not I don't have a Sporting KC team signed.
Yeah.
I have two Sporting KC signed kits.
Yeah.
If you're just a kit collector, it's new with tags too. Signed medium.
And we have, on top of that, we also have 25 other items to auction off, plus more. It's ever growing. This is something that we feel we should do imperative. Now that we're 5 years into this, we can do kind of something cool like this. So, be on the lookout on our socials for more information, links to the images, to the Google Sheets, and we'll get more information on how to contact us and pay us, and so we can make a donation. So, yes. And now, are you ready to do this, Fox?
Yeah, that's to what we're all here for.
Yes. So without further ado, Mark Jenkinson, I should have asked that, from Bastion Sportswear. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Hey, nice to be here.
As for those who can't see, who are listening to us on Spotify, Mark put his name underneath his name. He makes some stuff on occasion. For those who love a little bit of fun with what they do, that is for y'all. So, Mark, listen, I know a lot's been going on. You were just on morning kick-arounds, I think, the last week. I don't know. I know they aired
this week.
This week. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're obviously busy. You're doing some fun things. We'll get into some of that here coming up. And Bastion, am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, sweet. And so I know, right? What I want to get into here tonight is just simply start off. Why have you gotten into this beautiful game of kit making and designing, branding, all of that? And we'll see where that leads into everything else that we'll talk to here tonight.
Okay. I've been watching soccer since I was 6 years old. 1978, first trip to Anfield with my dad. As you can probably tell, I'm not from here specifically. I don't have a Delco accent. But when I go back home, people tell me I've got an American accent. So I'm somewhere probably over the mid-Atlantic. Somewhere. So yeah, I played. I mean, it's the rite of passage when you're a kid in England, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
every time there's a recess, it's jumpers for goalposts. You're running out on the field, kicking the ball around. Doesn't matter if it's 15 minutes an hour, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go do that, and you play for the school team. I made the school team a couple of years early.
Nice.
So I was, I was getting out of classes, which pissed people off. But a couple of us made it 2 years early into the
Okay.
school team, and we're talking elementary school. We're talking
Okay.
up to we made it in when we were 8 and 9 to the 11-year-olds. So but then we do that. We're playing soccer in our spare time. We have a village team where I grew up.
Okay.
Played for them. Played for the Cub Scouts. And then got shuffled off to a Catholic school taught by brothers who thought that soccer was evil,
Oof.
and it was all about rugby.
Ah.
So there was no soccer at school, but that's all we played. That's all we played at lunchtimes.
I would love to hear the argument why soccer is evil, but rugby,
More
which
violent
arguably
sport.
is a lot more violent of a sport, is
because they were violent people.
there you go.
Your words.
If you watch the movie Heaven Help Us, in
Yeah.
England it's called Catholic Boys. That was our school. Someone did steal the head of the founder. Someone did have clickers in church that made people stand up and stuff. That is all 100% true. I lived it.
Huh.
Jeez.
I might have to rewatch it now.
Right.
Everybody,
Yeah.
we had school uniforms.
Yeah.
I didn't realize at the time how I was getting into branding at the time,
Yeah.
because we used to deface our school uniforms with Nike logos and the school badge and stuff like that. Sergio, at the time, Liverpool were big in Europe, so everyone
Yeah.
who was going away to Europe was coming back after going in the boutiques in Paris and coming back with Lacoste and Sergio Tacchini and
Yeah.
LS and stuff like that we'd never seen before.
Right.
So that became like a really big thing. So
Huh.
at that point, I didn't realize I was learning about branding when I was learning about branding. And
Love
we
it.
were all drawing it on rucksacks and drawing it
Yeah.
on a school badge. And then it became how you customize your school uniform. So you had to have certain pants, certain sneakers,
Mhm.
certain shirts, anything you could get away with
Mhm.
without them noticing.
Right.
So
That's always the key.
Subtle.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so during that time, I actually packed in playing soccer. I was about 14. And I took up. I was already doing athletics at school.
Okay.
But I was walking off the school field one day, and someone did that thing where they put, kick you on the back of the knee and your knee kind of thing.
Buckles.
Well, at the time he caught me, I was going from 2 levels.
Oh.
So I kind of went down on my leg, and his foot come down on my calf. And when I got up, my calf ripped.
Ooh.
So I was on crutches for about 6 to 8 weeks while this thing kind of healed.
Yeah.
And so when I got back, I started running again, and I was average. I mean, I was the best in the school, but when it came to the races, I was really, 30th in the county and stuff.
Mhm.
And that's the
Yeah.
top 8 make the county team, and I'm like way back.
Yeah.
So I started training to build my leg up to play soccer, and I ended up getting really good at athletics. So I kicked the soccer into touch until I went to college and then played there.
Nice.
But yeah, so athletics was the big part of my life, sporting wise.
Yeah.
competed all over. Didn't quite make it to the Olympics, but my roommate did.
Of course.
My county roommate made it to the Olympic final of 800 meters in 92, finished fourth in the World Championships 800 meters in 93, and went out in the semifinals in Atlanta in 96. So, but you know, well, the funny thing was when we talk about him, it's like, okay, he was doing 147 for 800, and I was doing 151, and people are like, oh, it's only 4 seconds. I'm like, that's half the back straight.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's 35 yards.
Right. As someone who ran track, I know like seconds can seem like a long time in between.
Yeah. Ooh. So I ended up when I went to sixth form, which we finished school at 16, and then we don't go to college till 18. So you have a 2-year gap. And you have to go to a special kind of mid school or interim school between them to do your sixth forms. So you got lower sixth, upper sixth. And when I went there, all I wanted to do was do art, and they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me do it because they were like, "You're too good at chemistry, too good at physics. You should go do them." Right. So I was doing that, and because I was training for the steeplechase on the track. I couldn't do the games period on Wednesday afternoon there. So I just went and sat in the art room. And with about 6 months left to go, the art teacher comes over, he had a look at what I was doing, and he said, why aren't you doing art? So I told him that they wouldn't let me. So he said, if I can fix it for you to do your A-level in art, will you sit here? And I said, sure. And so I finished top of the grade in the art. But by that point, all my applications had gone in. So my first degree was in electronic systems engineering, and I lasted 2 semesters before I dropped out and went to design school. So that's kind of the long way around of how I got to be a designer. So I've been working in design for I started college in 91, so this is 35 years.
Dang. So I would even argue your entire life, given what you told us about you just constantly kind of doing something like with your uniform. Basically, this has been even up directly, it's been kind of thing that's kind of been built in your entire life. So obviously this is something that is in your DNA, I'd say.
Well, yes, but it wasn't until much later. It wasn't until I moved to the States, because over in England, I was doing commercial branding and retail design. So I was designing supermarkets and stuff like that. So I designed at the time, I designed all of the communication and signage packages for the UK's largest supermarket. And they had like 7 or 8 formats, and I'd done all but one format. And I wrote the guidebook, which is still on my shelf for it. But then a whole bunch of stuff happened. I ended up working for myself because I took a job, and when I got there, the job didn't exist. So they said, we'll keep you on 2 weeks freelance, but then you're on your own. And I'd already just left a position. So I kind of did that, but I was dating my wife at the time, and she's from Philly. Yeah. So I was going backwards and forwards for 6 years.
Commute.
Yeah. We've got a framed picture up on the wall of all our boarding passes.
Dang.
Oh, that's good, though.
That's kind of cool, though.
It's all faded now. It says a lot about us. So around about 2008, Sons of Ben started. 2007, 2008. I'd go and I'd just stand around at the back, and I really wasn't one of the group till much later on. But when the union first started, I started churning out T-shirts and selling them at the back of my car. And I kind of got some attention, and then I got brought in, and then I started doing the Sons of Ben stuff, which led to me having contacts within the union front office. It led to me working with MLS, because I was doing what I did for a living now for fun, for stuff that I liked and stuff that I could wear and stuff that friends of mine could wear. And you find out who your friends are when you make shit, right? So because
who wants to buy stuff and who wants to just I'll promote it on Facebook, it's fine.
Yeah, because it's one thing to have lip service, but it's another thing to have them actually wear your gear. So that was a really big thing.
Yeah.
So around about 2017, I stepped away from there, and I'm sat there one rainy day in my office, and I'm thinking, what can I do that isn't a screen print?
Yeah.
And that's what started Type Kits,
Mm.
which I had a partnership with a couple of type foundries, and I was doing shirts based on typography, hence the
Yeah.
accidents grotesque cat.
Uh-huh.
And it was all licensed in there. But I started to build a network of suppliers.
Yeah.
And so when I actually was looking to start getting into making kits and that, because COVID come around, and I'm like, what am I going to do now? Because all of my regular clients were in hospitality, leisure, and food and beverage, and they closed. So
Right.
I went from having a full client list to having no clients overnight. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I just started pottering around and making stuff and seeing how it went. And then I was trying to come up with a name for it. And I'd already pocketed this name in 2011 on something I was doing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't come up with a name to save me life. And then I was just going through some old folders and found the name that I'd been working on. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's a start. Let's start with that and see where we go. And then
That's
it was just slow. But one of the things is when people want to start this, the big
Yeah.
problem they have is finding designers, because we're not cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm $125 an hour if you want to hire me, right? So
Okay.
I'm not cheap. But
Right.
when I'm working for a company, I'm billed out at 275 or 325. So it's
Mhm.
ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I have all that. I can code, I can do a website, I can make the kits, I can do the artwork, I can
The
do
whole thing.
and it's cheap because it's me.
Yeah.
And deep down at heart, I'm a Yorkshireman, so I like to keep my money in my pocket. So that,
I
that's
get that.
really how it all started.
Yeah.
And obviously it made some good contacts, made some good friends
So,
along the way. But it what really was like, I started it all with $200.
damn.
And
Wow.
the
Yeah.
idea was I was going to run it through to see if I could write a book, which was how to start a business with $200 and take the world by storm. Well, I haven't
Hey.
done the storm bit yet,
Yeah.
but I
It's just
start a
for
business with $200.
hey, that is one way to kickstart, like an idea and to kind of motivate. You're right. You know what? I'm gonna
Right.
write a book about this. Like
Exactly.
I'm gonna write a book to commemorate what I did. I love
Well,
this.
there is a million free resources out there if you know where to look, if you want to start a business.
Yeah.
And
YouTube's
people don't know
amazing.
where to look.
Well, and YouTube one, but I also know the public library has a bunch of stuff and even classes that I've seen, at least at my local library, that has a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I got friends who want T-shirts, and they're like, "But I only want to order 2." Well, but you're not going to get them screen printed, then, are you? So
Right.
to introduce them to some of these online platforms that do
Yeah.
DTG to order, and
Yeah.
showing them how to set it up, and then interface that, how you connect that with a big cartel or Shopify site that you can have, and then you can sell your own stuff online. And the thing with some of those platforms is you can get they make sneakers. You can get sneakers on there. You can get flip-flops. You can get all kinds of jackets, pants,
Yep.
vests, you name it.
Hats. Yep.
Duvets. You want a duvet? We'll make you a duvet. It's
Finally, KitSZN
right.
duvet.
Right. So yeah. But it's all out there. People just don't know it exists.
Yeah.
It's fair. I will also say, what helps is you obviously have a bit of that artistic flair, that understanding, which I think helps make something stand out, right?
I hope so.
And obviously, I'm going to just pull this up here. I'm just looking at some of these things on here, and like none of these are a template. And that just to me screams creative. That just means you're not trying to fit within a box. And I think some companies out there, they kind of form a box on accidents, and they kind of stick with a certain type of graphic or type of design. And as I go through yours, I don't see any that are like the same. I see maybe a little similar with a little bit of thing, but for the most part, they're quite unique in their own sense of way. And I think that says something that kind of really maybe helps out a little bit, I'd say.
But it's good that that's noticed. I mean, when we say 100% custom, we mean 100% custom.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's a lot of independent kit creators out there. There's a lot of concept kit creators out there.
Yes.
You know, and when I was at the US Soccer Coaches Convention last week, there is a ton of people trying to sell you on dye sublimation. Now, the thing with dye sublimation, yes, it's a brilliant tool, but it can be used badly. And you can have something that looks terrible, or it looks very, very weak put together.
Yeah.
And so one thing we focused on is it's all the little details, like even down to the way it's sewn. Like we have a primer we give to our suppliers in the factories when they're making a new order, because we want this color thread here.
Yeah.
We want this kind of stitch here. We want, you know, this has got to be dyed and with an overprint. That we want 3 kinds of material on this shirt.
The good stuff.
Oh, yeah, and we, you know, on the back we have a neck tape that covers the seam at the back. We have a half moon, so you don't see the white of the shirt of the material, because that to me just looks cheap.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Right. So we want to, you know, we're not cheap. Our jerseys go for about $45, maybe $60. Excuse me, if it's a supporters group selling to their own fans.
Right.
But by and large, anything we do and put out on our B2C platform, it's $45.
Yeah.
Maybe less, sometimes 30. It depends how I'm feeling. If the wind's blowing from the west, you might get it for 35 today. It just depends. If I had a good night of sleep, you might get it for 25. Who knows? But,
all right.
but the whole point is, and I was talking to someone about this at the convention, is we did the school soccer kits 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I said to him, how are they holding up? He said, they look brand new. I said, that's what I want to wear, because what I don't want, I'd rather get the pyramid of the next year down, the next year down, the next year down, and do the entire school than have you replacing that one set of kits every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when people talk about our garments, I want them to say how, you know, we use the words on the postcard, lasting.
Yes.
We want people to, you know, I've got sweatshirts that are 20 years old. I love them.
Yeah.
You know, and we want them to be like that. We want them to be that kind of go-to. And I've got friends of mine who aren't anything to do with kits.
Yeah.
And I've given them shirts. They say it's the most comfortable thing they've ever worn. And it's just a standard interlock shirt. And it's like, imagine what happens when we give you we're going to blow your ears now, you know, blow your mind, give you this one. And so we concentrate on those things because we can't do the sports science that Adidas can and Nike can, but we also are a lot more nimble than they are in terms of we can do custom designs like you mentioned that you saw on our stuff, and you know, you're not going to get that from Adidas. Sorry, Adidas, love you. But having worked with them on the Buy You kit, they had a very, very rigid process of how they do things. And that was, you know, kind of interesting seeing that happen.
Yeah.
Because you kind of get what you were given in the end.
Yeah. Well, it's like with the quality as well, that really matters to me. So I'm training for my second marathon. And I started going through, I just changed my viewpoint of this. I wanted to wear my kits when I do my running to see how they hold up and stuff like that. And I'm a Louisville City fan. I have a lot of Adidas template kits. Now I will say like they're like replicas and stuff like that. So it's not typically the ones that the players are wearing. But like you're talking about the stitching, like I feel every stitching throughout. I was wearing I had the new St. Louis City one, and it has the weird like design through the middle. Kind of shows my belly off. I don't like that design at all. I don't mind the color. I like the color. Everyone's complaining about the color. But that little design, and you can feel the stitching throughout. Like I was red on my abs because
no, I can totally believe it. I can totally believe it.
Like even just this one, like I can feel like just the thickness and like. So when you're saying like just doing the underlayering, just doing this like just extra piece of fabric that covers those stitchings, it's such a simple thing that Adidas could easily afford to do.
Oh, I think they do it.
Well, they do it for the
but they don't do it here.
$75 kit.
Like for here,
right?
That if you go back to like Kappa in 2002, they used a thing called flat lock. And you get it on all your Under Armour. When I say Under Armour, I'm talking about your thermal gear. Layers.
Yeah.
You know, your underwear. I noticed that all of my Puma underwear that I have are all flat lock stitched. There are no seams other than flat seams because of the chafing.
Yeah.
Right. So you know, with things like that, I've got some player issue shirts from the mid 2000s where everything was bonded. And, you know, they don't hold up if you go to play 5-a-side in them. You know, you get someone pulling them, they're just going to come apart. But you just spent 120 quid on a Xabi Alonso shirt or something like, and then someone grabbed it. So you know, it's a different thing. The authentics are meant for them. They wear them maybe twice, if that.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, and so we buy them because they kind of look cool, but throw them in the wash a couple of times, they start to fall apart.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've noticed, something across the USL that we've noticed as teams have kind of put in more effort into their kit designs and even the quality of the kits over our just 5 years here. We've noticed more of them when they do the authentic, it actually has that good quality. So I think there's an appetite for people to want the good stuff that make them feel like the players, but also to Fox's point, they can work out in it. They can run in it. I use my kits to work out when I decide to get off the couch. And like, I want to be able to breathe when it's hot out, or if it's like, I want to, like, I know there's a bunch of collectors out there who want the actual good stuff, not just something to have it in their collection, but they want something that, at least that's how I feel, something to actually be able to wear and be able to say, hey, I've had this for like 30 years. I've worn this for 30 years. This has endured 30 years, and I can feel every stitch in it over those 30 years.
The oldest shirt I own.
Ooh, I'm going to zoom in on this.
I don't want to admit it, but that's you.
Yes, I'm going to zoom in. There it is.
I don't want to admit that I like that kit.
This was 89, 90, I think. I was 17 when I got it. At that time, these kind of shirts, I don't recall them making them for adults for very long before that. It was always kids. You got the Umbro box set, and you got the shorts, the socks, and the shirt in it. And all the badges were heat press transfers. And then they started coming out with, so that's the oldest one that I own from when I actually bought it. And I don't wear it because I look like a blood sausage. But, you know, this is coming back. If you notice, some of the blanks this year that Adidas were doing had this pattern in it. And the rumor is that this pattern's on Liverpool's home shirts next year. So that's the rumor.
The whole classic kit thing is definitely selling recently.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, that Liverpool green one this year, everyone got so excited by it. But I tell you, what's really nice about that is when you get it and you've seen photos and it looks like stripes. There's these. Yeah. It's not. It's a mesh. It's a solid and a mesh. And so that's how they do. It's just one color.
Yeah.
but the difference in the material
Yeah.
is making the stripes appear. Now
That's clever.
that's where the authentics excel when they do
Yes.
something like that. It's that thing where you don't know until you pick it up and have a look at it. And then you're like, oh yeah, that I want the authentic now.
Yeah.
Because that's just printed on the other shirt.
Yeah. No, that's something that I started to do. I stopped buying kits online until I'm able to see them in person. And if there's the authentic available, because I know there's a difference. I know there's this with MLS kits. Like when things are the authentic, the way that they're supposed to be made, not the fan version that's from like good enough it passes. You can really see the vision behind the design.
Well, it's twofold. It's twofold, isn't it? Because what they're doing in MLS is shocking. Because the details on the authentic collars and cuffs, the other one's like a training jersey in comparison.
Yes.
And you're like, why? You know what? I understand an upgraded materials, but don't change the friggin' design.
Yeah. It's wholesale. Like I have some that don't even like. I had a Minnesota United one. It on the authentic, it had a red button, the kind of like for the loon's eye. The replica, no button at all.
Right. And I bought the Sounders. I bought the Sounders Orca authentic, and I bought the San Jose Clash authentics this year. And I was looking at them next to the stadium versions.
Yeah.
And it's like night and day.
Yeah.
No, it's robbery at that point with the quality difference. Like,
but
I understand
you can get it cheap.
Right. It's supposed to be like, this is the more affordable version, but when the more affordable version's still higher than $100, like, is it really the more affordable one? I agree with what you're about to say, Mark, when you say like you can get it cheap. Like they're usually the quickest ones to go on sale in 2 years. I had a recent one. Fanatics had a huge sale. I think it was last Christmas, not 25 but 24, and I got a bunch of like USA Nike kits that were the authentic ones, and like that material was just crazy feeling compared to like the just polyester that I was used to.
Exactly right. And you know, the big, I mean, if we're talking kits, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is DH Gate. I've got a couple of England jerseys where I've got a fake and I've got the authentic. And if you don't touch it, you'd never know the difference.
Yep.
But it's ragged. The material's raggedy rough on the fake, and it's nice and soft on the authentic. But the jacquard in it is exactly the same.
I noticed that.
And so I totally get it when people have got like 3 kids and they want $450 worth of shirts when you can get them for $60 from I get that. But it's kind of like Adidas and those guys have made it so expensive that it's priced families, especially if you've got growing kids, price them out the market.
Yeah.
I have twin 3-year-olds. And so I'm a Leicester fan. So I'll sit there and like I've bought them the black one that came out last year when we were with the blue sash when we were in the championship a couple years ago. And then I got the white like kind of iced one with the logo throughout. But I always buy those in the summer because they still have them and they're like $20 at that point. So so I can afford it because like what you're saying, like, you know, I'm a first grade teacher and I see all these kids wearing Messi jerseys and Ronaldo jerseys, and we don't have a uniform. So like it makes me happy as the high school soccer coach because I'm like, yeah, come on, you know, keep that passion up. But I look at it, I'm like, that's clearly a fake. Like I could tell that it's a fake, but it's like clearly they bought it from, you know, DH Gate or one of those other, you know, websites. And I'm 1,000% for it because I'm in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. So the fact that they're one supporting soccer and then two, you know, wanting to wear something that represents their favorite players, but obviously we're not going to be over here buying $100 jerseys for my 6-year-old.
Yeah.
So the moral and ethical question about it is, you know, what how are they made? What does it finance? All of those kind of things, right? So,
Yeah.
and this is where I think people like myself and the other independents, we're plugging a gap in the market.
Mhm.
Agree, 100%.
And we're doing things that are just completely different. We're reacting to a brief that might be about community. It might be about the history of the club, which, let's face it, even when they're doing it, they can still do the history of the club, but we can get, the nuances that we get, that we don't have to, there's no guidelines for us,
Yes.
so we get carte blanche. I mean, it's what a job,
Yeah. Right?
get up and get to do this every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
I
jealous.
mean, it's like it's insane that, after years of working, and I end up kind of falling into, well, it's not falling into it. I kind of made this happen with things I was liking doing, but like, I always enjoyed design and always enjoyed all the design work I did, but it was always for somebody else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not I don't mean the client, but it was for the company, it was for the creative director,
Right.
it was for these other people. And now it's just me and, I'm working for myself. So then it was always just me and the client. But with this,
You don't have
there's
to
just,
report to another person to talk about the design. It's
and,
just
and,
you and that client.
and the clients are, they're easily wowed.
Yeah.
When they see stuff, it's like, oh my God, it's real. I
I
can touch it. I can wear it. And it's like, well,
Right.
that's where our responsibility comes in, because we got to make it good.
Yes.
We got to
Exactly.
make it desirable so people want to buy it. We got to make
Yes.
sure that the story it's telling is right on the nose.
Yes.
All of those kind of things that you might not get from, Whacking in Germany, working for Adidas on your club in Ottawa.
Right.
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 Exactly.
So not only is it a cultural thing, but it's also geographical. So there's lots of positives and negatives
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
But for what we do, I think, we have a responsibility. All designers have a responsibility.
Yes.
We have a responsibility with our clients' time. We have a responsibility with our clients' money.
Right.
We have a responsibility to get them something that they're going to enjoy and they're going to really enjoy handing out or selling.
Hmm.
And nothing makes me happier than when I have happy clients,
Yes.
because happy clients, they go tell someone, then they
Mhm.
come to me, and then, or happy clients, and they want to order some more,
Right.
and with it being the World Cup, corporate America's getting in on this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been getting orders in the thousands and multiple hundreds for corporate companies. They
Love
just
it.
come knocking.
Yeah.
Right.
It's everyone's trying to hitch onto the wagon, trying to, like, the vibe is high for this World Cup. Obviously, it's a big ordeal. So why wouldn't people just try to lean into it a little bit?
Right. And
1000%.
bands is a big one for us too. I've had contacts within the music industry,
Yeah.
and that's led to open several of the doors. And it's right now. I just got an email back before I came on.
Yeah.
Motionless in White, I'm working with.
Huh.
And Chris Motionless had just seen something and wanted to put it out there. So, so, but they have a captive audience, and there's nothing better than a drunk metal fan that's spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like, I've been to my fair share of concerts, and toward, like, the merch store at the beginning are like, okay, maybe some people buy some things, they want to, like, fit into the crowd. But the later the concert goes on, the more under the influence the attendees are, the more I look back and I see a longer and longer line. Things are selling.
Yep.
That makes total sense.
The more liquid that flows, the more liquid that money becomes.
Yeah, the problem is when they take them on tour and run out, because the turnaround time isn't, it's not like tomorrow we'll get you a whole load of others. So we just did the Dropkick Murphys. The US tour that's coming up.
To say,
Now I can't show you what we've done for it for the
why
drop
not?
kicks. Well, because this is what we did for the European tour.
Got it.
But then we're doing something different for the US tour.
Okay.
And they obviously have to be made in the United States because he likes to get up on stage and
Make a point.
Make a point.
Yeah.
Trying to find that. And so all of this tariff thing about bringing manufacturing back to the United States, try finding it. It's difficult. And then when you find it and you get something that's the best quality that you're going to get, it's really expensive.
Yeah, that's something that we've heard from a few of our sources who kind of not like the big brands, few people that we've talked about just trying to try to ease their finances from that perspective. And it's one of the difficulties that have kind of arisen in the last year or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the funny thing about it's the only time I've seen my stuff on bootleg sites is the stuff I've done for bands. I've seen the Cannibal Corpse one.
Yes.
And I'm like, where did you get the artwork from?
Right.
Because that artwork was drawn on my computer and I'm the only one with it, but yet they've got really good replication of the dripping bee. And I'm like, where did you get that from? Because
AI.
The grifters are good. The grifters have gotten good at their abilities. I'm going to tell you, when we were talking about earlier with the replicas, when I went to a U.S. match at Copa America last year in Dallas, the number of fake U.S., Mexico, and other hodgepodge random kits that if you actually know what you're looking at, you clearly know they're bootleg. That's all they're selling. But for someone who's just showing up, maybe, oh, hey, I'll buy $5. I don't have a jersey. Just throw it on. It works. And I think people have gotten good enough at replicating things. It's easier for national team kits. They're usually pretty blander in general with the design, a little bit more straightforward. But people have gotten really good at that. And given everything else that we had talked about previously, people have gotten good at bootlegging.
I went to a couple of concerts this year down at the stadiums. I went to the 2 nights of Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
I took my daughter to her first concert, which was Ghost.
Nice.
And she looked at me after the show. I said, "It's all downhill from here because you're never going to see a show that good ever again." And I've been watching Ghost since 2010.
Yeah.
So when they were in tiny theaters. And now they're in arenas and stuff. Right. And the last time I saw them, though, they were supporting Iron Maiden. And what a show that was. Right. But with so it took it to My Chemical Romance at Citizens Bank Park, which we were on the very, very back row. So it was like watching ants.
Binoculars are good.
I've been to Citizens Bank, so I understand that. Yeah.
And I went to the Metallica 2-night thing when they were in town.
Yeah.
But they're walking around. Excuse me. They're walking around with the boot. Sometimes the bootlegs are better. The designs on the bootlegs are better than the official shirts.
Oh yeah, easily. Well,
that's what killed me. So I'm not a huge fan of bootlegs. Obviously, I try to support the band, buy the shirts and stuff like that. I went to go see Dragon Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Just throw in that. I went to go see Dragon Force before they were in Guitar Hero. What? But it was in the shirt, the official merch, the tour shirt was literally just a CD cover, just screen printed on the front of the shirt. And then all the cities just list it.
Yeah,
Times New Roman. Not even a cool font. You couldn't even put it in Comic Sans to make it fun. Something interesting.
So one of the things that we try to do with when the representatives of the bands come to us, the first thing I say is we're not putting the CD cover on a shirt.
Yes, thank you.
You've got your T-shirts for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
My job is to take the assets that you've got, interpret it into the language of a soccer kit, whether it's the red and white stripes, sorry, the red and black stripes for Cannibal Corpse,
Yep.
whether it was taking the crib off 72 Seasons and making that into a Dortmund type shirt.
Yeah,
If you look at the pinstripe on the Ministry, it's actually all the lyrics from Jesus Built My Hot Rod. In the pinstripe, it's the whole gibberish lyrics.
Oh, I see the breaks now.
Right. And then, coming up with the sponsor there as being, an actual auto body shop. I mean, there's so much fun if you just give it a little twist.
Yeah, I love that Dropkicks one.
Yeah, and
that is their CD cover.
Yeah.
but it wasn't like.
But it's more like literally, it was just a perfect square of the CD cover, and I was like, man, I'm about to pay $35 for a picture of a CD cover.
Yeah,
and I did. I still have it. It's in my room, but because I keep all that stuff.
And it's pricey too. Like my kid's ghost shirt was $50.
Yeah.
For a Gildan.
Yeah.
Right.
That you get for like what, $5, if not cheaper.
Oh, even cheaper than that. If you buy them in bulk.
We can get it for $5, Brett.
Yeah.
Other people can get it for 24 cents.
Yeah, you can get them for like $3, $2. If you're gonna buy 20,000 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's good. But like I say, when they come to us, it's like we are not going to take. We don't like illustrating on a jersey.
Thank you.
Yeah. We want to take your assets and twist them so that the two languages meet in the middle.
One of the things that we've noticed on some of these kits that are kind of a bit more of a sublimation with just like a graphic kind of thrown onto the kits is that they have a really interesting graphic design.
Yeah.
And then they just like throw it on it and they hope it
will fall into it.
Instead of actually making what makes a soccer kit unique, such as like the different grooves, how it like flows, like what you've kind of done.
It's an art.
Yeah, it's an art. Like it's not just something that any person who's just good at graphic design can just like make up together.
And it lives in 3 dimensions also.
Yes.
It doesn't just exist flat on the table like most of our photographs are. Someone wears it, and that someone comes in many different shapes and forms.
Yes.
So sometimes if I'm doing, say, a pattern that has waves on it, I don't particularly want the waves to kind of go like that. You got to be cognizant. Yeah, you got to be cognizant of how people's shapes are too.
Yeah, I don't wear I don't wear horizontal lines anymore. I have a very prominent belly. That's my issue with my weight. It all just goes straight to my belly. So anytime I wear any type of, if I have the old like Louisville City hoop kits, and I try not to wear those because you see that wave all of a sudden. Oh, okay.
So so it is really about. It's a kind of an auditing process when they give you assets, or and it was kind of like the reaction to the Cosmos kit, and we're like, well, we're not forward medicine. It's the Cosmos. And one of the things I said when we were in the meet, first of all, the first thing I said is it was a Grail job. The second, because I did the whole branding with Sean Francis.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who Sean Francis is.
No.
He was MLS Insider. He's now the global creative director for Copa 90.
Nice.
I met my wife through him 26 years ago. So we and he's Asbury Park FC.
I was going to ask about them. So I noticed them quite often.
Yeah. So when I started getting to kits, he came to me as opposed to going to people he was going to before, because why not give it to your mate who's trying something and you have the product. Well, you have the availability of product to be able to put it to market. And I think with him, I just presented him with a design, which was the architectural one of the carriage of the carousel house,
Oh.
With the sash being, I know he's a sucker for a sash, so it was very easy to get him on that.
Right.
But the sash being a beam of light coming through the architecture, and because of my background in working with architecture and elevations and stuff, I was able to draw it pretty well to scale. So with this, it's like if we'd have done, I didn't want to bring to the table what they did between 2012 and 2020. As
Mhm.
nice as those kits were, to me, they weren't the Cosmos. The Cosmos, and you'll see when the away and the third kits come out,
Yeah.
the stripes are forming an architecture here that we're going to be building off of.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
It's not just the stripes, and the gradients are going to have some part to play in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we understand that a green shirt is a green shirt.
Yes. No. Yeah.
But it is it. I totally get where people are coming from. But the funny thing was the day this came out, Admiral put out a retro kit set icon, whatever you want to call it, range of Cosmos clothing with a plain green shirt with a white collar and white cuffs, and people were like, "Take my money."
Right.
And
but then when the official team does something similar, but
yeah. So working with Capelli on that was very, very different than working with Adidas. And obviously with Adidas, the process, we were involved in that process 18 months before the kit was released.
Yeah, I've heard the timelines are quite far in advance.
And to be honest, the way that we worked with Adidas was we design in closed session to ourselves and share the designs with us. We're not allowed to show Adidas a design of what you want. So what you have to do is figure out what you want between yourselves when you're designing it, and then write a creative brief. And then they take that and then they create the versions of what you've articulated in the brief. So if you've got someone who is fantastic at writing creative briefs, then you're going to get something good at the end of it.
Yeah.
So I see that. Be the first to admit. Yeah. I mean,
I'll add on to it too. Like when I first saw it, but the big thing I went with it was that like we are going with the nostalgia of what the Cosmos were in the 80s and in the past. Like that's what we were looking for. So I wasn't mad at this jersey at all.
No.
Like, it was one of those things I'm like, this is a smart move. And and again, you're not Forward Madison, you're not Oakland, you're not selling, crazy interesting kits.
Yep.
You're especially in your re-inaugural season. How do you call that? Re-inaugural season?
Well, it's third time to charm, isn't it?
Right, exactly. Your re-inaugural season. You're trying to sell the product on the field.
There's legacy and heritage. There's legacy and heritage, and in the brand itself. When we sat down at that first meeting, I said, what we need to do, first of all, the equity built in the Cosmos brand in itself is globally recognized.
Yes.
And I've seen plenty of people on Dribble who've reinterpreted the Cosmos logo over the years and stuff. And that's all well and good. But in reality, if you're putting something out there on the back of it's the difference between reality and hypothetical, right? So would people buy that?
Yes.
Would it even attach itself to what the Cosmos was? Now we obviously do have a link to the last iteration of the Cosmos because Eric's there, right? So and we've got a whole new kit supplier with Capelli, because before I think it was Under Armour, Inaria.
Yes.
Can't remember who else did them last time, and it seemed like that changed every 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
What I was very impressed by is when I sat down and Eric and the guys talked about what the vision for this iteration for the Cosmos is going nowhere. It's not going to fall by the wayside. I fervently believe that, because I think they've come at this from a really, really solid foundation where community is right at the center of it.
Yes.
And whether it's Patterson and I totally get why they chose Patterson and everything else there. I know people was like, well, it's New Jersey. Well, they played in New Jersey before. They played in
Right.
Long Island before, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we dropped New York from the name on the new badge,
which was smart to me, I think, because like one of the things that I think is always vitally important, especially in a sense, the rebrand or whatever, this long history of revival of the club back again into the professional ranks after the NISA, NASL kind of, NPSL kind of period, that middle period, was that, yeah, you're trying to represent a brand, but you're also trying to represent those who your fans are, those who have been loyal to you from day one. I know many people who have been following you, at you, Cosmos from day one because of Pele's greatness from the 1970s, the 80s, the heights that were the Cosmos. And there's only so many clubs, very small list, I reckon, in the U.S. itself that have that type of pedigree and that type of history that you can lean on. Yes, it might be quote unquote simple, quote unquote boring for some people, but there's a tradition. And it's like a lot of the NFL teams, NBA teams, MLB teams, whatever have you, they have a tradition set.
Yeah.
This is an example of actually one of the clubs that have that precedent already set for them instead of starting fresh every season that some teams try to do and trying to build in a new identity. This is just more of a refresher of something that's kind of been done. And I do like hearing what that was the intention, right? You're like, I'm going to honor this. And that is something that I think will be shown in fans in terms of support from them, the community, and those that are already familiar with the brand itself. And I think that's vitally important.
I think you're absolutely right. I think there's a couple of things though, which didn't help us. The kit was released without a sponsor because they wanted to get it out before Christmas.
Sounds interesting.
I don't know how I felt about it without the sponsor. I've got one behind me on the rack. I think the sponsor helps. I think the sponsor helps when you take it off, it can look a little plain. The logos aren't really anchored to anything. But that's the same with any shirt when you take a sponsor off.
Especially nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So it was one of those things like I would have liked to have seen it fully realized when they put it. But you know what? If you've got one, I think they're going to honor putting the sponsor on afterwards if you want it. Or you're going to have one of those things that in 20 years' time, you actually have one of the first release shirts that didn't have a sponsor on it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Maybe.
a collector who has both, maybe.
Maybe.
I have the pre-MediaCom one.
Yeah. Well, did I give you this image?
You did.
Oh, because MediaCom's not the sponsor.
Yeah, this is the same one that you showed to Morning Kick Around. I think you said on there, this was one that you had just used liked it, and they've used in the past, but it wasn't well known before.
I thought I was using the one that had the Hinchliffe Stadium logo on it. But anyway, you get the point.
Yes.
You get the point. So everything we did with that project, when you go back and if you look at the brand guidelines and you look at the creative examples and the walkthroughs that we did as part of that entire thing, there is a lot of, we were just underpinning everything. There is a lot of expression that comes from that, from the community, the local artists, the local musicians. There's this vibrant culture that is going to bring something to the table. And you might not see it in a series of guidelines that tell you how to do a social media post or what typeface to use. But there is an expressive part of this too. So really the guidelines deal with the rational, and then they're going to bring the emotional.
Yes.
And so that's how that was kind of working. Because the number of times I've written brand guidelines for people and they look at them, they didn't, not them, but when I've done it for people in the past, and it's like, well, what do I do with this now? And I'm like, well, that's up to you. You've got your
Right.
purpose, you've got your vision, you've got your mission, you got your positioning, and I've just given you a ton of bricks. Do you want to go build Independence Hall or a brick shit house? It's up to you, right?
Do you have to poop?
Not right now.
No.
But that's the point of these brand guidelines. I'm
Yeah.
not there to do everybody's job with it. But so and with the Cosmos wasn't like that, because we already knew we had this rich culture that was going to be bringing something to it. And you can see that now when they're starting to do some of the campaigns where it's I am Patterson, I am Cosmos.
I've seen
and
that
stuff. And so these were things that were discussed about, at length, but no one who sees this is privy to any of those conversations when they see it get released.
Right.
And if they say something, my usual response is, do you not think that we didn't think of that?
Right.
Especially something like this that isn't a template kit from like one of the large manufacturers, which are kind of like, hey, we'll make a story afterward. Something that's a little bit more not out of the box. You think there's some conversations of how are we going to market this? Are we going to let the design influence the marketing? Are we going to let the marketing influence, or like vice versa? Like there are thoughts that go on into this, and also how each club lets the creatives be creative. Because if they do their job right, it makes it easier on the club. Because if you've done all the branding, you've done all the work as you've done here, as you said, you presented them the bricks. It's up to them to do what they want to do with it.
Yeah, and we give them guidance. We give them some guidance in the execution part of the manual. We have a creative execution part. But yeah, it's very much that we will take them on a walkthrough, and we're not saying that these things should be done,
right?
But it's like we're going to show you what we can do with the bricks very quickly.
Yes.
But as we know, if you think about it in terms of a video game system, after you've been using the video game system for 4 or 5 years, the games really start pushing what it's capable of. And it's the same with marketing, with some of these properties that have longevity and have legacy, is that when the marketing gets going and finds its groove, it really starts pushing into new areas, as opposed to changing directions with campaigns all the time.
Yep.
So that's really where we were coming from with this.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, even on day one, I said, this is a grail job for me, because I grew up in the northwest of England. I was very familiar with the Cosmos because I got Shoot magazine every week. And, my first introduction to American culture was through the soccer, right? Other than movies, obviously, but we don't count them. But like, I was seeing photos of 70,000 people in the sunshine. What's that? Northwest of England is very grey. In the sunshine, razzmatazz and all of this. It seemed like a different world, and even when I mentioned it the other day, going back about music, when I look at the cover of one of the Suicidal Tendencies albums that I had, and they're there in the white vests with bandanas on, palm trees, and the bluest sky you've ever seen behind them, and I was like, I want to go there. It's raining now. I want to go there.
Right. Right.
It's always raining.
So that culturally always resonated with me. It was something that I always remembered. So when this came knocking on my door, I was just, I was running around like a dog with two tails. It's like, this is the job I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
My entire life.
Yeah. And it also comes with, I would say, besides it being a bit of a dream job, given the notoriety, the hype, the fame around it, also probably a bit of, as we've talked about, the responsibility to take care of that history and to live up to what has come before you, because there's 50 years of precedent, which is a lot, especially for U.S. clubs.
Yeah, for U.S. soccer, that's a lot.
Probably one of the oldest in the
responsibility. US. You said the word responsibility. That was a word that came up
Yeah.
more often than not. the responsibility aspect of this
Yeah.
is we want to get it right,
Yes.
and we want to make it as the logo didn't need too much changing. It
No.
needed some
Right.
modernization. We redid a typeface for it to get away from the old 70s typeface, but it still kept the characteristics, which you could
Yes.
see on one of the slides. So we were very, what's the word? Respectful
Yes.
Yeah.
of everything that had come before. And, you know, even when I was asked to write the brand narrative,
hmm
and I saw some things on Reddit where they were like, is this guy taking the piss or is this guy serious? Because, like, you know, and because I said a darker navy because it just prints better.
Yeah.
Well,
I love
it's like,
that.
what do you want me to say? It's the Cosmos logo. We
Right.
know what it represents. We know that the brothers are from Atlantic Records. We know why it's got the fan swirls in it. We know what the
Right.
colors represent. You know, what do you want me to write that we don't already know?
Right.
Yeah.
Like there are a few people in the US soccer community that I've been friends with for a long time. Every time there's a crest or a kit explainer type of thing like that,
I hate it.
they immediately meme it and turn it into like, oh, we did this because we thought it looked cool. We did this because, like, to your point, it's just a better shade of blue. Or just like that little bit of like, we know this is a whole bunch of narrative kind of BS, kind of like, what are you going to say otherwise, right? Like, it's a river? Cool, we all got rivers. Like, what?
Right.
Like,
and it's a shield to show strength and defense.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's a shield because it's a soccer club.
and it looks cool.
I mean, Louisville City, we're redefining shapes, so I don't want to hear it.
They did.
We got 4-sided triangles. Bring it.
Sometimes designers, we are guilty of wiping ourselves dry with the towel of overstatement and self-congratulatory. It's probably why I don't fit in with the design community. I ended up designing kits because that whole thing just doesn't jive, you know, just jive with me. It's, you know, I wanted to be like that guy, Jonathan, the magic guy who pulls the curtain back and shows you how all the tricks are done. You know, there is no secret to branding.
No.
It's a methodical process.
Yeah. It's
and-
kind of
and-
a scientific formula. Like there is a way and there is a standard procedure of like, you look for this, you try to like do this, or like there is a method to trying to come up with something. It's not like pulling a magic out of it, like a rabbit out of a hat. Like there
Right.
is steps to doing it, and it's just, is it good or is it not? Is really up at the end of the day. And there's not some magic. Hey, I can say some fluffy words.
Well,
And
the
suddenly
boilerplate of the process is what you build on to make
Yes.
the process holistic for that client.
Yes.
But you know, you have a process, you have a robust A to Z process that you have to go through. And you know, and it's kind of when I see these manuals from a lot of people and a lot of design companies, and it's like they do the purpose and the vision and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like, we're authentic. We are. It's like, are you? Are you? Are you really authentic? You know, it's buzzwords, buzzword
Yeah.
bingo. And
Well, yeah.
when we put this together, we were so adamant we weren't going to do anything like that. So
Yeah.
the words that we wrote, we're going to put them into action. So it's got to be
Yes.
bold. It's got to be concise. We don't use 10 words when we can use 4, you know,
Yeah.
and things like that. But reliable, trustworthy, bollocks. You know, that's what these brand manuals have in them. And
Yeah.
the 10 a penny, when you do stakeholder interviews with big corporate clients,
Yeah.
that's the stuff they say, and they believe it.
I know. Yeah.
They believe
I-
it.
Just going through the scout laws real quick.
Yeah, it's bingo. He's got a bingo card.
We're
Yeah.
trustworthy. We're loyal.
No.
We're helpful. We're friendly.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
We're all in my old job when I was a consultant. I did a lot of fun stuff, and like they would just say these certain buzzwords or like say the same things you've heard 7 times, but like just you know what they're saying. They're just trying to say it the same way, but you know what they're saying. But they gotta say certain phrases if they want to push those or whatever. Who knows, right? I did want to point out, Scissor Tails pointed this out last year, a few years ago. Test Tulsa, my goodness, dropped a pink kit and called it their state tree kit, which was cool in theory. And then Puma dropped the exact same kit 3 times, like later that year.
Authentic.
Yeah, or Louisville City last year with the river kit. I think I saw South Georgia Tormenta also.
Yes, it's Tormenta. Now I will say that was both the Tormenta's kits.
Yeah, it was both of theirs too. So
their home and away was also the river kit.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some shirts then, because we've talked the talk.
Yes,
let's have a look at some shirts.
Yes. So before we dive into yours, I did have someone with a question, and I wanted to get your thoughts on these. So, Frank here has 2 questions. He has 1 question. Have you seen the Oakland Roots kit, Mue's kit? I have them pulled up, so I'll share that with you. Or the San Francisco City's Koi Pond kit, and I'll share the Koi Pond one first. And I wanted to get your thoughts on those.
Kill me now. No.
Okay.
It's a drawing on a shirt again.
Interesting. Okay.
It's you could do something a lot more interesting than just a watercolor on a it's an illustration on a jersey. I don't like those at all.
Okay. Interesting. And
that's just my take.
Cool. And then here is the next one, the Mue's kit from Oakland Roots.
Well, my stand at the soccer coaches convention was like 4 doors down from Charlie. So I went on their stand and started talking to them about the Roots stuff.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting in the flesh.
Okay.
Because it has this really interesting metallic quality. And yet, if I recall correctly when I was looking at it, it wasn't metallic. It's just straightforward sublimated design. But they've done really nice with the colors, the earthy tones and stuff.
They did.
I like it a lot.
Okay.
But you know, the abstract nature of it for me works.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
As opposed to illustrating, if that's supposed to be hills and rocks and rivers, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's kind of cool and interesting.
It's actually based off an actual painting. I don't know if I can find it. It's not on here. It was actually an actual painting that Muezi actually did. That's actually hanging up in the San Francisco Modern Museum of Art. So that was the actual painting, and then they like transcribed it onto the kit, kind of modify it, which is kind of cool. It's a different take.
The Oakland kits are nice.
Yeah.
I like the stained glass one.
Oh, yeah. Our friends at Oakland actually had sent us those ones, and they are one of my favorite to wear around because they just look so cool. It's an interesting idea. So fully agree with that.
You can't really fault them.
Right.
It's interesting and it's different.
Yes. And in a good way, interesting and different. We've seen some clubs try to do it. And
it's still simple enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know what to say now. But you're not gonna get that in MLS.
Correct. And that's one of the things that we love here at KitSZN. We primarily talk USL, which is why we were quite happy also to hear more about the Cosmos branding.
Exactly.
We know that there is a bit of a creative diversity here in the USL across the professional and semi-pro ranks. That's just fun. You see companies that aren't small companies, or just they have one team that's it, like Stimulus. We've seen I think Kraft. They've done some like small companies that are tiny as can be, and now they're here and they're able to produce something, and it just keeps us all on our toes.
There was I saw the Kraft booth at the convention. There was a brand I've never heard of, and I did a bit of research about them. They had a 40 by 40 foot space called Artin. Aretyn, and everybody on the stand looked like models.
I knew I saw you somewhere. That was me.
But yeah,
my
so
God.
I'd never heard of them before, but Craft would there was a couple of other small brands, but I saw someone from Artin, one of the owners and founders, say 4 years ago they were at the convention handing out flyers. They didn't even have a stand, and now 4 years later they've got this. Everything was white.
That's
You
their
know,
website. I'm looking on their website right now. It is very just like white with a little bit of tones here and there, but it's predominantly a white website, so that tracks.
they had white carpets, they had white sofas. I felt like just walking over it with dirty shoes.
Or
Just because
like,
it was white.
yeah,
It's
I
like,
did that.
you know, but I've never heard of them, and I don't know whether this stuff's any good or not. They had a couple of soccer jerseys there, which were okay, but you know, it
Well, they're
wasn't.
trusted by 300 plus clubs nationwide.
Oh,
That's what they say. That's
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
say. They had like 4 or 5 different shirts
Oh,
on
Grace
display.
Harbor. I've heard of them. Otherwise, I've never heard of any of these clubs before. Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
there's like a lot of academies and stuff like that. That's what
More
I'm
than
saying.
likely.
But when I first saw them and saw the logo, I'm like, oh, it's a Castori type deal, because the logo kind of
Yeah,
looks like the Castori
it
wings,
does.
and
Yeah,
it has this similar number of letters, wide spacing, and from a distance, when I didn't have my glasses on, I was like, oh, that's like a Castori, and then got up there and found, oh, it's not Castori, it's this other thing. And like all of them were incredibly thin and beautiful people, and then there's me on my stand going, buy kits, you know. So yeah,
showing off all your metal
but
bands.
yeah, Macron were there. They Joma. You know, that's one of the
Nice.
things where we get some of our stuff made is in the same place that Joma uses.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I only
Yeah.
have 2 Joma kits. One is a Norwich kit, the purple one that they came out with a couple years ago.
hmm
I got the Josh Sargent one, of course, because I live in St. Louis. And then I have a old Leicester City one. That makes me happy. It's really boring, but
yeah, Joma, one of the places where I get we get our ice hockey jerseys made.
Nice.
Yeah, they do CCM, and one of them does Majestic, but that might be baseball. They say this. I can't put any credence in it. It's like they say these things. It's like
Right.
one guy who came looking, he wanted to get on our suppliers list,
Yeah.
and he showed me Bayern Munich kits, and I said, "Oh, I really like the detail in this. You work for Adidas?" He never emailed me back. So he was clearly churning out the DH Gate specials.
right.
Right. And just got
You know,
called out. And it's like,
yeah,
nah, done with this.
because I I said I've done a little bit of work with Adidas. They have their own factories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
You
do.
know,
I actually did a deep dive on their environmental impact that made me a little bit more depressed than I wanted to be. Trying to see them, like, kind of see what they've done behind the scenes and and I found out they have their own factories. And I was like, okay, so like this is like their own, like, for them, it's streamlined. And I'm like, okay,
It was their choice at that point.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
yeah, and that is the hardest thing in the independent market, is finding good suppliers.
yeah,
Ones who are reliable and make good quality products. Who work with you on the cut and sew to make it unique.
yes,
Because we want, like, our tracksuits we're in the middle of renegotiating right now, and we want them to be unique. We don't just want a dye sublimated 5-piece jacket. You know,
Right.
we want to see seams, we want to see structure, we want to see clean lines, you know, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we think even within the if we can do that in the independent market, that differentiates us a little bit more.
100%. Because like even teams, they don't want just the kits. The kits are
No.
just one part of it. And that's one of the things that when Indy 11 moved to Under Armour, I was concerned with the kit side. But then when I thought about it, they produce gear from sweatshirts, t-shirts, sweatpants that are used all the time on like mainly the college sports side. So there's a large presence and quality there outside of just the kit side. Now, I've noticed more smaller, more independent ones tend to bridge that gap and have both the good quality kits and the good quality other gear. And I think that is a massive differentiator.
Yeah.
It's tough finding it though.
Yes.
If you're not a designer who can turn their hand to doing construction type work, and I don't mean construction as in building physical thing, but like understanding where seams go, understanding how the construction of a garment actually works, and then playing with that to do something that's a little bit more unique, and having someone who will work with you. Like we're going up for a contract in England. It's coming up for next month, and we wanted to pay because it was the town I went to school in, and it's a rugby town, and I wanted to pay homage. It's the 125th anniversary of this club. I wanted to pay homage to a lot of things to do with the town, and we came up. It took me 6 months to come up with the paneling that worked for this shirt. It's a 19 panel garment for a shirt.
Yeah.
And it costs twice as much as a regular shirt to make, to manufacture. So, but having the people who will work with you with stuff like that, because I think that's where the independents have got to go next to differentiate themselves from each other.
Yeah.
Because yes, dye sublimation, we can put anything on the shirts.
Easy.
But there's the small details. But then if you start, we need to start looking at construction. Got to start looking at juxtaposition of materials. We have, I think, 15 materials that we choose from.
Dang.
We have like 15 collar types. And that's before we start customizing them. So we have 15 bases that we start off from. And so all of this sort of stuff is the more that we have that, the more we can bring to the table. It helps. It helps us build something.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay an independent forever. I'd like to grow. I'd like it to grow. I'd like it to become a business I can hand over to my kids if they were ever interested. Not that they're interested in soccer one bit.
Of course not.
Yeah. Hey, it's one of those things. Hey, I think as we'll dive into some of these kits, some of the things that you've done here, I wanted to kind of talk about some of these. It's like, I think as you said, you built the foundation, you have the materials, as long as someone has that creative spark to be able to continue to do stuff like this. This is weirdly like super creative. Like I love that that Play Urban Soccer one. That is a fun texture. Like I can't see it, but like I can see it. Like the levels, the layering from the graphic is very interesting to me.
Okay, so that is a city plan. It's an isometric city made out of the words build.
I love that.
And so there's skyscrapers and stuff, but in amongst all that, there is about 25 urban soccer pitches hidden in the graphic. I've got it actually right here. Just hold on a sec, because I might be able to hold it to the camera so you can see it.
Yeah, and I will zoom you up front.
My face in there.
So here we go.
I'll zoom you in up front. There we go. Oh my
So, you see-
gosh.
so there's like little soccer pitches in
Okay.
amongst the city.
I might need to buy that for myself because I'm a big urban nerd, and I love that level of detail, and it's not repetitive. Is like one of my favorite things about that. Like each block is a little different. It's not super repetitive, and it shows the attention to detail. There's pitches thrown into there. That's
Yeah,
really
it
cool.
took days. It took
Yeah.
days to draw it. Another one that took so with the foundations, the Segulu Supernova was a good one because that was for a program in Kenya to keep kids off the streets and out of crime.
I was
That
going to
was
ask
run
about that one. Yeah.
that was run by a charity in the UK.
Nice.
So big shout out to Rose if she's watching.
Here, let me throw it up here because I did have it. I do have it over here. Question is, can I find it in the slide? Is it over here? Nah.
Well, while he's trying to find that, I was going
Yes.
to talk about the Pride jersey as well, because it's not the typical, go to like, okay, we get it. There's a rainbow. There's actual more depth to it with the different geometric designs as well. So definitely a big fan of that one.
It came from it actually came from, I'm trying to remember where the shape came from. I think it came from tribal. I think it came from a tribal blanket.
Ooh, that's even better. I like that.
Yeah.
and then I just started knocking blocks out to just do. So the idea, this was a repurposed one from something that didn't happen.
Okay.
It was a competition entry I did for York FC up in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
the idea with this is there was like 10 different variations of the shirt.
dang.
The pattern moved. The different blocks showed up on the shirts.
Yeah.
So that it was a coherent set, but no two shirts were alike.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so I ended up putting it forward for this because the York thing never happened, or we never won or placed. And I'm like, this is too good. This is too good to lose.
Right.
And so when we did that, I started knocking out bits because with the York one, it was a little bit bolder.
Yeah.
So I just started to knock areas out and started playing around, brought in the 10, 11 colors.
Yeah. I would say this is a great call. This is probably, I've been going through all the ones you sent over to us. This is easily one of my favorite ones. I think there's another one, the tattoo one you can see in the background. I think it's really creative as well.
I love that. Asbury Park.
I like color, if you couldn't tell, as the kit that I'm wearing today. I'm a very bland guy, so I like my kits to kind of do the fun stuff for me. This one looks really cool. Yeah. Let other people be creative, and I can just exist. And this is a good example of like, it's just fun. It's colorful, and I also like white, so I like the white version better. It's just so fun and colorful and creative.
Do you have the other one, the black one? It's called Disco.
This one, or
no?
There are a few here. Let me go through the entire slide.
That's it.
This one.
Yeah. If you
that one reminds me of like Pac-Man with a little dot, but a bit of a disco as well.
Oh no, it says stuff.
So the brief for this when it came in, it says, I want to do something that reminds me of Peter Saville. So Peter Saville is the designer behind Factory Records in the UK.
Yeah.
He had something to do with one of the England kits. Very, very well known, very unique kind of designer. But if you zoom in,
it says LGBTQ.
Yeah. It's his kind of style of typeface. It says LGBTQ plus running through the whole shirt.
Love that.
But from a distance, it just kind of looks like this, LED pattern.
Can I zoom in? Can't zoom in. I can. Oh well. Interesting.
You could zoom in with your face like I'm doing. I know it looks really professional on the YouTube side, but like, no, I absolutely love. Because like you were saying, like when I was sitting back here, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like you said, it's a disco. It's very Like reminds me of like the LEDs on the
I
floors or
can
something
see
like
it
that.
now.
But then yeah, when you go in, you're like, oh, clearly it's different letters. Does this
That's the type of
RGB plus?
detail that we were talking about to start the show. We love that nuanced detail, that like the things that you can't see at first glance until you see it either in person or they point it out to you. Just that's like the cool little designer nods that we like hunt for.
Absolutely love it.
Exactly right.
Okay, and these were the supernova ones, right?
Yeah, so the team is known as Segulu Supernova, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they didn't have a badge, so I designed the badge kind of with some African patterns.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Get the vibe.
it has a star ball with the explosion coming out of it. So really, when it came down to actually doing the kit, I was like, why don't we just do a tie-dyed and make it look like a supernova?
Yeah.
And so again, it's just a simple idea.
It just looks good though. I also love that beam that goes all the way straight across too onto the sleeves. I love that continuity. I know sometimes they have sometimes kits stop the continuity at the sleeves.
Not all of them were sewn like this one, I'll tell you that.
Oh no.
Dang.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't use that manufacturer anymore.
Some of them were. It's one of the things that drives me nuts. If you go back and look at the Cano Foundation one,
Yeah.
okay, the way that you get the stripes on the sleeve to match the stripes on the body is smoke and mirrors.
Okay.
Because if you look at the upper white stripe on the sleeve,
Right.
Yeah.
it's about 60% of the width of the rest of the white stripes.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, a little bigger.
And that it becomes a trade-off then of, is it noticeable as being thinner, or is it more beneficial to have them connect? So you have to weigh that up.
Yeah. All right. So with this point, so if you're listening, Sister Cells just said like my wallet's going to be in danger. So as somebody who likes to work out in this, can you tell us about like the type of fit? So I'm typically an extra large. Is this more athletic fit? Are they
No.
No? Okay, so this is
we are sized for fan fit.
So like true to size.
So basically a medium is a 42-44, as small as a 40-42, and then just goes up by, the inches. The size charts are on the website.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go to KitSZN, you'll see the size charts. We tell people to buy by measurement rather than size. I'd say the closest we are is like a Gildan.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's it, because I think a lot of the people who are buying from us all have Gildan t-shirts.
Right. Yeah. Everybody has a Gildan t-shirt.
And if you want, if you want athletic, because we make them long enough, if you want athletic, size down.
Yeah, because that's my big thing too. I am all torso, so I have very short legs, but I'm 6 foot. So I'm all torso. So like I would typically have to get like an extra large because it'll have to fit down. I got a Puma one time. My wife bought it. This when I was a little bit bigger. She bought an XXL for me, and it was the hideous Man City ones. That says Man City on it. It has the badges like throughout.
The Puma ones.
Yeah, the alt kits that they came out with. But it's one of those kits that I love, that I have, but I don't really wear it. But it fits me like a box because it's like stops right at my belt line.
Yeah.
So I can't do this without it going whoop. So
I mean,
to ask.
Ours are true to size for what you see there.
Okay, that's good to know. So scissor tails, probably true to size or Gildan type of look there.
Yeah, we're very close to Gildan until you start getting up to the very, very large sizes.
Yeah, that's when it's weird anyways. I've done some kits for my supporter group here in Indy, the Bridger Battalion, and the larger the size, the weirder it kind of the harder it gets, especially because at some point you get to be the tall and large, or you just like the wide, and it gets
It's like,
funky
what
with what
reason do you
size
need a
you would do.
5X?
Well,
Because
there's a
they're
guy,
tall?
there's a guy who buys from us who buys 5Xs, and he's like 6'7",
Yeah,
Right.
you know, and he's a big dude, you know, like wide, like shoulders and stuff. Because I'm like, I took it out because I had to fold it, and I'm like, how do I fold this? It doesn't fit on my folder.
You have
Kind
like
of
the
thing.
blue thing. The
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have one of those.
Yeah, I didn't know how that worked, so I had to try to figure it out as best I could, and then it's about this thick
Ooh,
when it's folded.
yeah.
But yeah, he would often buy stuff from us. I don't know where he's been. I haven't seen him around online lately. Hope he's all right.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Bernie, hope you're all right.
Shout out to Bernie. I will say I also love, besides those those cause kits, these community kits. I want to kind of talk about a little bit more of a little bit like we touched up upon Asbury, or Ashbury. I don't know if I missed
Asbury.
Asbury. Thank you. That's kind of a cool thing. I think that Funk Town tattoo one.
It's just Funtown.
Funtown. My goodness, I am okay. It's okay. It's okay. But the Funtown tattoo one is just a pipe dream for like things that I love. Like if you were going to like look at someone's kit collection, you're gonna beam to ones that stand out, just uniqueness in it, and that one right there. I'll edit that later, but
you couldn't play in it.
Oh, that's fine.
Because
I'm not athletic anymore.
What team are you on? Yes,
you'd be clashing with everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easily. Unless they wore like black, maybe.
So this was an interesting one because Jordan, who's the tattoo artist, had an idea for like a Harlequin type shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he came bringing that to the table, and so I kind of controlled the Harlequin so that there was some color flow, and also it brought in the green sash because the mint green is Asbury Park color, black, white, and mint green.
I didn't know that.
But then I went back to him and said, draw me some flash.
Yeah.
And we'll put the flash on it.
Interesting.
So it's all drawn in his style.
I love that.
I just generally, so it did quite well for him, you know?
Yeah.
There's one I didn't send you that's the Hogitos one, which is a sandwich shop in Asbury Park. And I kind of made a sandwich wrap from the menu, illustrated the menu as a sandwich wrap, and that became a black on black tone on the shirt.
I gotta find this. Is this on your website? Because
it is.
Oh yes, I will look for it.
I don't have one to hand.
Dang. Okay, I'll keep looking for it. But this is just like really. I just love how unique these all are. Just like
I want to see like an Asbury League come out where like all these different shops, all these different things, like make their own teams. They come to the park and just battle it out.
Well, Asbury Park, when Sean started it, I mean, it's been in the Wall Street Journal and stuff because it's a team that doesn't exist.
Right.
But they do press releases. Were going to build a soccer stadium on top of Convention Hall and stuff. They have the blueprints and all that, and they did it, legitimately. Like they did it kind of probably, but there was no team.
Yeah,
right.
They were all of the characters were made up. So we've done partnerships with Tops. We occasionally Sean gets Umbro to make stuff for him and New Balance, because he's got some of the best. Hey, Tom Boga is a big fan of Asbury Park, yeah.
Hey.
And Man versus Food wore a hat in one of the episodes. Was it Adam Rickman? Is that him?
I haven't watched it in a year, but I do know the show. I'm bad at names.
So I mean, and Grand Cafe L'Aquila They've been a client of mine for 15 years. I do all
Dang.
of their communications. I do all their own products, their coffee, their chocolate, the Datarino tomatoes, anything. And so when we did this, the pattern is black on black. So what we do is a 4-color black overprinted on a single color black.
Interesting.
And that's how we get the black. We can't do shadow stripes because we don't have the cost of having custom material knitted and woven for us is more than we can handle.
Yeah.
For small orders of 50 shirts, you need to order thousands to get that.
Huh.
But the pattern, the tile pattern, was made from using the town shield,
Ooh.
rotated, and that
Which
gave us
represents strength.
Yes.
I saw the explainer on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've actually got that one here. It's one of my favorites.
I mean, that's such a. I've always liked that. That looks so good. I honestly have always liked black and green combination. I
Yes,
think the
black and
green
green is-
always complements the black. Especially with that little hint of red I see over there on the left cuff, right there, left sleeve. I don't know if
It's
that's on
Italian
purpose.
flag.
Yeah.
Even better.
It's
Even better.
let me see. Here we go.
I can see
there we
Italian
go.
flag.
Love that.
Yeah. See, that is amazing. Yeah, I love that.
So- Black and green Cosmos kits.
Yeah.
Dropping hit.
Yeah,
By the
no-
way,
no-
here's a further look on that fun tattoo one. You can really see all the different caricatures, different designs thrown
Well, yeah.
in on it.
The Americana type tattooing is some of my favorite. Personally, I like the ones that they do like with Pokemon, but that's just my nerd in me.
So what was interesting with this is the kind of the /repeat pattern you'll see on a lot of the shoulders of our jerseys, and you'll see it around sleeves.
Mhm.
We had a kind of a Celtic tattoo that actually had that in it that went along the sleeve. So we still got some of our branding in.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
with this one, it was all bets were off. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of get that vibe with all like the collar. You have two different designs on the collar.
Yeah.
That's I don't think I've seen that. It's unique. It's kind of cool. It makes it outside of just the colors used, make it stand out a bit.
I feel like this is almost like a sampler kit that you can like put on display and like, look at all we can do
Right.
on one jersey. You should have had like an actual half collar.
We
Like,
can
Right.
print. Yes.
New idea.
yeah, the half collar.
Well, they kind of
that's-
do it now when you look at those shirts where they've taken like 5 years worth of some team's jerseys and sewn them together.
Oh yeah, the mesh like the mesh kits that they do, the piece together ones or whatever.
Yeah, it's
I like-
a patchwork quilt.
I see the ones
Yeah.
that they do with like the players and stuff like that. Like you'll see a messy one and it has the pink and then it has the red and blue and it has all the
The
different teams.
Argentina, yeah.
The Argentina jersey, the Barcelona or
You
Yeah.
gotta be careful with your color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say one that was fun that also caught my eye. Oh,
There was Hogitos. So when you
that's the
zoom in,
Hogitos.
you can see that the black on black of we illustrated the menu as a sandwich wrap
Oh,
and then put that on there. Now we're doing something different for them this year. This was
Okay.
their 10th anniversary shirt.
cool.
nice.
Oh,
I like the
know
fact that the sleeves are like,
Oh,
completely
I
different.
didn't even notice that.
Asymmetric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That comes from the tattoo thing as well, is the asymmetry of stuff. And sometimes I have OCD about asymmetry and symmetrical things.
Yeah.
I love asymmetry, but
Yeah.
if the asymmetry, if the symmetrical thing is slightly off, it drives me around the bend.
Yeah.
I did that.
It's so funny. I got some retail tags from the printer, and I
Yeah.
looked at them, and it was about a 32nd of an inch off center, and I could see
You
it.
can see it. Yes.
I could
No.
see it,
No.
and once I threw them away because I couldn't look at them. Every time I saw it, it was off center.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, if no one points it out or you don't check it, you're fine. But as soon as like my wife point out something to me, I see it. I'm like, I can't see it again. Like, I
can't be unseen. Yep.
Yeah. So I did that. Let me go through these other ones. This is Neptune City. I'm curious, what is Neptune City? Just I've noticed
it's Asbury Park's rival club. So it's all the same. It's all the same remit. So, Ocean Athletics was the client for this.
Okay.
And they are I think they teach swimming, which is where we got the.
Makes sense.
There is a black on black rhythm through that. And then
I see that now.
Pulled the blue. One thing I did learn when I did this is concentric, equally stepped lines that are a sinusoidal wave is a pain in the ass because they're not equal. You've got to, it's all visual. If you do it mathematically, it doesn't work.
That hurts me because like I like to make my shot like, okay, this one was 4 inches, like this one should not inches, but like this one was a 4, that one should be a 4, this should be a 4, like the spacing should be the same.
Yeah, but you can't get it. It starts to, I don't know why, because in theory in my head it should work. In practice it didn't.
It's like mathematically it should.
Can you do it from
just like a sine wave or whatever, and if you just space them out, they should mirror and do the same thing as long as they're separated.
Well, I tried. There's methods we can use to kind of replicate pace behind, add a stroke, pace behind, add more of a stroke to get it. And by the time it got to the top, it was a straight line.
Huh.
So, yeah, that was a tough one.
So you almost had to just like hand go through each line at that point.
Well, we did a really nice. The crest on that was a 3D mold. Was 3D molded.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Poseidon's pects.
Just immaculate.
They are immaculate.
Yes. So you heard it here, folks. Neptune's pects are immaculate.
Yeah.
Quote of the show right there.
Right there. Right.
That's going on an inner collar somewhere.
Right. And I also see a bunch of these global scarves. Is that like a fun, like a collaboration? I noticed a few of them are on here. Is that another one that is from the area or just like something?
I've worked with global scarves for 16 years. And I made these as gifts for the owner.
Ooh.
And I did something that I said I would never do. But it worked in this case. I hate shirts where they repeat logos or they blow up a logo and make a tint of it.
Okay.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But the Global Scarves logo, when you blow it up, became this really interesting stripe.
Yeah.
And so while I was doing that, I did the little crest for him because he's from Leeds. So you go back to Leeds United. It's got the peacock. It's got the white flower. It's got the yellow center. So there was some kind of thought into what was going into the badge there.
Right.
Because just because he's him. And I had to make them for him and give them to him because he would never buy them because he's a Yorkshireman. They always have deep pockets and short arms.
Makes sense.
I understand. I feel that.
I tell him this all the time, but Global Scarves this year, they mortgaged themselves up to the hilt and they got the exclusive rights to scarves for the World Cup.
Oh, nice. Good for them. So
they're doing all the scarves for the World Cup. Anytime you see a host city scarf or a game scarf or a tournament scarf or whatever, they're doing them.
Nice.
I just saw someone do scarves, and I saw global scarves. I forget where it was at, but I saw them. I've never. Oh my gosh!
It could have been. Was it in the Howler article I sent you?
No. I saw it here in the U.S. at a store. I I can't for the life of me see it. Like I very much remember seeing. So I like to see like the brand who makes it. Because there's a few that I know of, like Roughneck or whatever. And I saw Global Stars. I was like, I've never heard of them before.
They've been around a long time.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I'll definitely be buying one because that's the one thing. So I'm going to one of the games in Kansas City, and I can't remember. Brett, remind me who I'm going to go see.
Was it Germany?
No, it was in Germany, and that's the issue. It was originally, so when we were looking at it on FootMob, it was Germany, and then that afternoon it wasn't. I'm like, oh, it's like Ecuador and something else. Like literally like nobody. I'm like, I'm still going. So I bought the tickets before I even knew who was going to be there. So, but that was the thing. Like, I'm going to buy a scarf for the game. So then I have that memory of seeing these two teams.
What date are you going again? So that I confirm.
The 20th.
It's Ecuador and Curacao.
Yeah, Curacao. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I know, but I'm excited because it's the World Cup.
This is one that Scissor Tales saw on the website. This Borealis kit, and this one looks fun. It almost looks metallic with how you shaded that a little bit. And
this one,
yeah.
Well, they are a Mieble Modern Art is a gallery that deals in polished stainless steel art.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So that's why that was done like that with the colors and stuff.
Yeah, that looks really. Actually, that's not the Borealis kit, by the way. Sorry.
No, it's not.
This is the Borealis kit. If I can pop it up there,
Still the Modern Art kit.
This one.
There it is.
So if we go back to what I said about using the standard language of soccer shirts,
right.
The stripes here,
yeah,
that go all the way through it,
while
this kind of is weaving in and out of it.
I see that.
It's the same actual pattern as what's on this, just as a plain jersey.
Right. So that's what I was seeing at first, but then when you get to our left, it's right. Like on that teal part, it almost looks like the waves are starting to move, but
they don't line up.
Right.
I'm using the different stripes and different masks.
Yeah.
That's clever.
So it plays with perception a little bit.
Well, besides breaking his wallet, he also dropped his jaw. So
broke the wallet in the mouth.
But yeah, this is a good one. I'm gonna pop back into this, and I will get that one later. Yeah, and this is just honestly, there are just so many fun ones that are just a little creative. I'll get past the Bayou. We kind of hinted about that one a little bit earlier, and I want to hop into these supporter group ones. I don't want to. I know it's already been an hour 53. Wow, you've been fun to talk to, by the way. I want to dive into these ones a little bit. So
my wife thanks you because I won't be talking for all day tomorrow now. I've used up all my words.
Perfect. That's what we love to hear here. And by the way, another compliment here from Scissor Tales. That's why I love smaller manufacturers. Such a treasure trove of kits out there from companies people may never have heard of. Breaks all the veins. Is these ones right here. So I know there's a lot of English fans, and after we got the Liverpool classics, you even got like an AS Roma throwback one up there for Roma Philly. That old school Arsenal one. There's quite a few from Hoboken Gunners on your website that are just kind of interesting, and I wanted to kind of elaborate a little bit more because I know these aren't one for one replicas and like re-gimmicks of the actual kits.
Well, they're just our interpretations. Like on this one here, as I mentioned earlier when we were off camera.
Yeah.
It's not 02, it's actually the zip code of Hoboken. It's 07, I think 13031 or something. I don't know without zooming in.
030.
030.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 030.
But it kind of looks at like the O2 from a distance. So there's
It
a little
does.
bit of bait and switch going on there. But yeah, I mean, this is based on the anniversary jersey. And then our version, we're not going to rip off Bruised Banana, but our version of the Bruised Banana is this kind of parquet fading design that we do. The Roma one was interesting because they said we want it to look like a gladiator's cape.
I see that.
Yeah, I see it.
So I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? And it was tough because we do all our own cut and sew. We do all our own artwork.
Okay.
Right.
We don't rely on the manufacturers to set things up for us. We do it all in-house.
Okay.
So when we have things that have certain amounts of nuance to them and the positioning is critical, when I write the tech pack that goes out with the garment artwork, I have to point out all of these things of where things have to align up. So what we've got now, we've got to a point where the pattern maker and me work together, and we have all of these little tick marks within the pattern, so that when it goes to the sewers, they know where everything aligns. We remove chance, and we remove the judgment of someone who's never seen it before.
That's actually pretty clever. It allows for that to have that greater chance for the actual product to match a design.
Yes.
And kind of some of that efficiency as well, by like making you put in a little bit more work, allows the manufacturing part to know, like, okay, this shows there, this shows there. It makes it a little bit easier on everybody downstream, and overall a better product.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's what we try to do. So we work with them. So like when we do the Cano one, which has the sleeves that match up, we have registration marks all over that.
No, I'm sure.
For sewing. It just makes it easier for the people who sew it because they've never seen that before.
Right.
You know, so now they know what lines up with what. So they're not having to make a judgment call in the production line.
Yeah. And then you obviously, this one mimics that old Liverpool one that you had, right? That first one you got when you were 16?
Yes.
But the stars.
It's called, yes, it's stars because the United States of Liverpool. Smart. So what we did is we took the aesthetic of what's known as the bird shit kit.
Yeah.
And used it with the stars here for, obviously with it being United States.
Yeah. And then you get this one with a little bit of that checker. Again,
yep.
I'm honestly starting to grow on the asymmetrical thing. I've seen it more often pop up. I also like the silver with the black, silver and red. That's just a fun color combination that I've always liked.
Definitely pops.
Kind of does. And yeah, and then the traditional green, you know, that I've honestly seen them use. I've seen Liverpool lean into the green a bit more in a few years. I liked it when it was a nice accent. I think that was on their home kit 2 years ago. That was predominantly the red with the white and then a little bit of the green accent around it. I really like that one from an aesthetic perspective. I've always liked more colors, especially if you have one that's like green that's like a nice accent.
Well, this is a keeper jersey.
I know.
This was the Mike Cooper, Bruce Grobbler keeper jersey.
Nice.
But if my information is correct of where the green came from in the Liverpool kits, it's from Carlsberg. It was part of the agreement with Carlsberg.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a sponsor for quite a while, wasn't it? Or at least for a little bit. Yeah.
So I think that's the rumor.
Interesting.
But who knows?
Who knows? Let's say I wouldn't know because I don't have any near contacts to even verify the information. So let's see.
So the only Liverpool friends that I'm close with are just because of card collecting. So they'll send me their Leicester stuff. I'll send them any Liverpool stuff I got, and back and
That's
forth.
it.
So yeah, so I can't tell you any history about Liverpool.
And we've already talked
So
about.
I'm going to trust your word 100%. It is fact now.
Well, we went through all the ones that you had sent us. Honestly, Mark, there are so many. I loved. I told you this off camera. I loved. You just sent us all these examples. It makes it easier for us to kind of segmentize, kind of talk about, and then just have the visuals as we like the visuals, and we like to be able to have them on there if you don't have the physical kits yourself that you did show, which is really nice. So
the funny thing is, it's when you actually design for teams that play that it becomes a lot less avant-garde.
Okay.
You know, it's a little bit more simple, because whether it's league rules, especially if you're working with schools and the NFHS guidelines are pretty strict.
Okay.
Especially with the away. The away has got to be pure white.
Pure white every time.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Misha down here in Missouri. It's the most miserable thing in the world.
You can put your logo and your mascot and things like that, but your logo can't be any bigger than X, and it's got to take up X amount of square inches, and you can have the name of the school there, but you can't have any embellishments. You can't have a pinstripe in the white.
Right.
So yeah,
I'm going to do white on white pinstripe.
Yeah, you know, it's but you can do it if it's woven in.
Right.
Of course. But if you print it, they get very
right.
Yeah, take that off.
Because that's always the issue we have. But of course we go through like one of those companies that gives you like 4 different companies that you can choose from to make and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of it, but it's something that the athletic directors have like always done for 50 years. So like they just keep it going every year. So, but I got free pants from it. So
that works.
Yeah, I got free Under Armour sweatpants.
Never turn down free pants.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where they came from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I will say, is there anything else? I know, Fox here, you got school tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like I'm teaching first graders. It's
so I wanted, I know you and I are off tomorrow, Mark. So like we don't have as much to. I'm trying to keep.
You know what? My sister's in the country. She's been working here all week in New York. We're going to New York. We were supposed to be there till Sunday.
Dang.
And so we're gonna have to come back on Saturday.
Is the weather hitting everything up there too?
Yeah, we're expecting 16 inches of snow.
Yeah. I think at the moment we're at 5 inches of snow. My parents are expecting 5 inches of ice at the moment.
Yes, I've heard that too. About
in
the
Kentucky
ice.
And Louisville. So like,
and so
that's fine.
You should have seen the chaos. Like Home Depot was selling bags of salt for $40.
Of course, why not? Supply and demand.
Right. But it was kind of like Black Friday.
But for salt, right?
But for rock salt. And the thing is, if it's going to have 4 inches of ice, that rock salt's going to do nothing.
No, yeah. It's just going to freeze again. Like it's going to melt the top layer, refreeze. Now you got fresh ice.
Well, when you got ice like that, this is what my recommendation would be, because it's going to freeze anyway. Boil a kettle. Get rid of the ice with the kettle and just let the little bit of water that comes out of the kettle freeze. Because better, what's it, a couple of millimeters of ice as opposed to 4 inches?
Right.
A
little bit better.
Yeah.
Look at that. There's some winter advice as well as 2 hours worth of design and kit advice for all y'all. Honestly, Mark, is there anything else? I know, again, we've talked 2 hours. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up here? The floor is yours. If there is anything that you'd want to bring up.
Well, as you can tell, I like to talk.
It's
So
great for us.
you know, if people go on there and they see something they like and it says sold out, some of the stuff isn't for sale, but I've got it here. So just drop me a line and start a conversation. And the minimum order we do is 10. So someone just asked me to do Stranger Things jerseys for their kids' party.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll help out with that. I mean, I shouldn't,
I didn't
but
hear nothing.
no, I just put it online, right? Just tell everyone right here.
Right.
But you know what I mean. It's we have there's low MOQs, but obviously that I can't spend 2 days doing a pattern if someone orders 10 shirts.
Right.
There is that kind of balancing of it. But yeah, I mean, generally it's small. We can do small orders. So if people want to go on a bachelor party, people want to go to a wedding, people want to have a kids party, we don't say no to any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Love that.
But so long as there's the time that it's understood about the timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Don't expect
so,
this tomorrow.
yeah, and so you don't have to worry about tariffs. We cover the tariffs on stuff.
There you go.
Nice.
That's good.
It's whatever we can do to help.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known about this for bachelor party.
Yeah, I mean, all of that. So it's all up for grabs, isn't it? And why not?
Right.
Why not? It's so much nicer having a shirt that doesn't fade, doesn't wash out, doesn't crack.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds you of what you did in Vegas.
Or in St. Louis.
well, wherever you have the party.
Right.
But yeah, if any questions or anything, it's always at the end of an email I just got cramp in my foot.
Oh no.
Just drop us a line.
Yeah.
We don't bite often.
You can also find them on Instagram as well at Bastion FC23. If Mark does not bite you, he will, as he says, help you out. Yeah.
It's what we do. It's what we're here for, customer service. And generally we try to get back to people within a 4-hour window with any questions.
Nice.
24 max. What we don't do is ignore any requests that come in, which I've heard from some people that some of the independent guys are not quite as responsive as they'd hoped.
Oof.
That's disappointing. Yeah.
Well,
and our reputation's built on being responsive and being the best us that we can be, and make the best garments and the best kits that we can, and so that you can go and win your games and look good while you're doing it. And then people ask where you got it from, and then you tell them, and then they come to me, and then I'm making it for their kids, and then they'll tell their friends, and before you know it, everyone's wearing us.
I think you're taking over the world.
I think I'm getting ahead of myself.
Maybe just a wee bit.
I'm excited for the book.
Yeah. We're waiting for that.
I haven't written much yet. I'm still. I'll write it when I'm 65 and I've finished the business.
Yeah, you gotta have
I'm still learning every day. Every day is learning new stuff.
I'm about to say, based off our conversation today, I kept hearing the words learning, experimenting, trying, and that doesn't seem like something that's a new challenge every time you have a new project, a new idea, something new pops up, and I think that keeps you on your toes, and it keeps everybody else on their toes to see what you can do, and kind of. I think it's a good thing. I think if you settle into a box, I hinted at earlier, then you kind of repeat, and then you have the one shtick. That's not always fun, and that's not creative for everybody involved.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And we don't want to be pigeonholed as that way, and also I enjoy it too much.
Yeah. That's
You
great.
know, and the great thing is, it's like, you know, one thing I learned at the U.S. Soccer Convention is I thought we were something, and it turns out we're something different.
Okay.
When we put all the wild stuff up, that's what stopped. That's what got people in.
Hmm.
Was the wild patterns and things like that, because they could see nice team kits on any of the other stands,
Right.
but
Right.
no one was doing. I mean, I don't have it. I don't have it with me. There's the one we've got called Clever Girl,
Hmm.
and it's all of the leaves, but there's 3 raptors hidden in it.
Ooh.
Jurassic Park, Clever Girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a keeper jersey. When they see things like that, and the Funtown tattoo, they automatically got pulled in, and they were like, "What's going on over there?"
Right.
Right.
So it wasn't where I thought we were going to be positioning ourselves. So I've got to take stock now
Yeah.
Yeah.
of what that is and what that means going forward. Because we do want to make kits for teams.
Right.
Sometimes these just don't fly. I mean, these are work in a rec league, and
Right.
maybe Forward Madison wants some Raptor jerseys to go with the pink flamingo in there.
Hey,
Would
it
not
wouldn't surprise.
surprise me.
Yeah, I was about to say
Right.
wouldn't surprise me.
So I've, you know, this next week or so, I got to sit down and start thinking about what we are,
Hmm.
because it isn't what I thought we were,
Right.
and that's really interesting.
I'd say
Because
so as well.
you know, because that
You're
is not
evolving.
something that was on my bingo card when I went there last week. Of being the guys with the mad patterns. But that's what people were gravitating towards.
I think from a consumer perspective, a lot of people love that because a lot of them are probably like me, that we're not creative ourselves. And so in order for us to kind of feel creative, we have to wear stuff that is creative. And I think that catches our eyes, kind of
Right.
like a peacock would, right? With the fun colors, just get your attention. And
How you got his wife.
Well, I think one
Peacock.
of the things I hope that people see from this is the enthusiasm that we have, because
Yes.
enthusiasm is infectious, and I don't mean that
yes,
in a STD kind of way, but I mean
It's kind of that way too.
it's infectious, and you can see the love in the garments,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
that's what we want you to feel
yeah,
with these things, and that is a really big part of, you know, I talked about the 4 pillars that we built the business on, which is
yeah,
branding, community, grassroots, and causes.
yes,
So those were the 4 pillars. But it's a job if we don't enjoy it.
right,
Yeah.
And so that enthusiasm we bring every day, you know, I've asked people who've worked on teams with me to write me testimonials,
hmm
and the number of them that said hell in them was outrageous. But it was things like, he could tell you to go to hell and you'd be genuinely excited for the trip, right? And
Is there snacks? Let's go.
yeah, it was, but it was things like that. It's that infectiousness. I
Yeah.
hope that every day when I get up and I sit down at my computer, it's like, what are we going to do today?
Love it.
Because we're not packing chicken,
No,
Right.
you know.
right. And
You know,
and according to your tagline, you're making some stuff on occasion, so like might as well get cracking. Maybe feel like making some stuff, and yeah, because like when people, I think, especially when you look at like MLS, I'm gonna dot them on their Adidas, and even Macron, when they were with the Canadian Premier League, you started to see a bit of staleness with the designs for a while, and people yearn for authenticity. They yearn for diversity kit wise, and they want something that you can feel that infectious passion.
Well, look
And
at what
I
happened
think,
with the Bayou kit with the lightning
yeah,
when we did something that was completely different to what
that's good.
anybody else was doing with that kind of stuff. And I think it was voted the #1 shirt that year.
I think that was one of my
One or
favorites that
two.
season. Yeah, because that was a few years back. I remember when that released. I was very happy to see that because it was different. So there was a fun take on the blue, even because there was even a lighter shade of their blue. Was more like one of their accent blues that they
Well,
normally use.
it's the Philadelphia Civic colors of the light blue and the yellow.
I did learn that. Yeah.
And so it goes back to Philadelphia. We'd been asking them for years for a Civic colored kit. And so that became a really big thing. And then obviously the Ben Franklin thing with the lightning and
Right.
the other little,
Makes
I think
sense.
there's a kite on the back,
I didn't know. I
you
did
know,
remember that.
or a key. I think there's a key. So, you know, that did very well that year. And people were like, I think they were surprised. It's like, why can't everybody do this or
Yeah.
have this? And
That's
I
the
don't know why
thing.
we were the only ones who did it, who did the Bayou stuff.
Yeah, because I know when Adidas, there was like the one year that they came out and like they were so proud to announce all their kits and like they had all the teams. They had like special people from each city. Like in Dallas, they had the Dude Perfect boys and stuff like that. And as an elementary school teacher, I was excited to see them. And like they literally like released the shirts and they were literally all the exact same template. And like
Yeah.
I just saw so much just boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.
And yeah, and I think people get turned off by that, you
Yeah.
know. And
Like even in the NFL that doesn't have crazy designs or anything, they still don't have the exact same design in every
no,
city.
and they have their own like brand.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the one, I mean, I think my favorite Union kit they did was the Beth Steel one. That was almost black.
Yeah.
With the beambow in like this dark coral red. And I've got Connor Casey's shorts, game worn shorts in that, and I tell you, that patch that was here was like a vintage felt
Ooh,
badge with
Nice.
embroidery, and they put it on the shorts too. No wonder he couldn't run.
Right.
He was weighed down by it, you know.
As I
But
said, more to talk to players, they talk about stuff like that. Like when you get the player authentic ones, especially these days, like they're not like stitched on or sewn on anymore. It's the supplemented on
TPU.
or yeah, like pressed on.
It's the molded TPU stuff, and you know, we do that too.
Right.
You know, it's a little bit of cost. I mean, the biggest cost is making the mold.
Yeah.
It costs $100 to make a mold. But then the badges after that are only like 50 or 60 cents each.
Yeah. So if you stick with us.
Yeah. So any team that comes to us that wants that, you know, the last team we did, they wanted woven badges with the merrowed edge that sews through onto the shirt.
Yeah.
We keep them all in stock for when they want to reorder.
Yeah.
You know, because we have to order anywhere between 200 and 400 at a time.
Right.
But you know, when you order woven patches, like 400 woven patches is $80.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. It's whereas 400 when you're doing TPU, it's a $300 outlay.
Right.
You know, so and sometimes depending on it depending on the quantity they're ordering, we will take that on the chin, and sometimes we bill it on. It just depends.
On the
it depends on the situation. Everything depends on the situation. So it's not always given that you can get them, but if you want them and you want to order 25, 30 shirts, we can do them, but you're going to get this surcharge.
Cost. Yeah.
You know what? I already in my head, I'm gonna need to have you on here. I feel like you just keep talking for hours with us, and we would be enthralled with it. I'm gonna save a lot of people a lot of time. I just have one more last question because I am
it's
curious.
bedtime.
That yes. Since you were at that convention last week, one of the things that we talked about was trying to go to one ourselves because of the the connections that we could make being KitSZN, just trying to see people, interact with them. Just we like to have the merch here on us, so we can build the stuff ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
quality, make giveaways, the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, just because we're planning to go next year in Kansas City.
Yep.
Are you going to try to be there next year as well?
I'm considering it. The early bird pricing is up right now, and the 10x10 booth is $15.50.
Okay.
But having just spent $4,500 on this one last week,
Right.
with by the time I've done the booth, by the time I
travel, food, hotel.
well, no, it's in Philly, so I live 7 miles away.
Never mind.
So which is why I was able to do a lot of what we did.
Right.
I got a new stand made. So that stand was up, was a brand new build with new graphics and stuff on it. It cost me $500 to have, because it's a union town. It cost me $500 to have my car unloaded and moved 50 feet to my booth space.
Nice.
$500, $250 each way.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then I got special shirts made. I got the PHL one, which is in the graphic you have there.
I did see that, yeah.
And then I got ones for us to wear on the stand.
Nice.
So all in all, and postcards, brochures, business cards.
All that.
I think probably 4,000 would be a ballpark figure. We might have already got a really good client from it anyway. Turns out the guy grew up five miles from where I lived in England.
Nice.
But he's an individual soccer coach.
Ooh, okay.
So he does one-on-one coaching, and so he's approached us to put together a player issue package. So there's mid-layer tracksuits, hoodies, a bag, a backpack, two kits, a t-shirt, so that might have actually just paid for itself.
I was about to say that sounds like it. That sounds like it to me.
So, and that's just one of the contacts. So yeah, I mean, it was hard work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in Kansas. Even if I don't have a booth there,
yeah,
I might just get a ticket, go down and walk around with stuff.
Yeah.
Passing out flyers.
Yeah. I mean, they have rules against it, but
if you drop a piece of paper, you drop a piece of paper.
Right.
Things fall.
Well, I tend to drop a piece of paper then in everyone else's booth.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're
so clumsy, Mark. Jeez.
I know. What can I do?
Hey, well, maybe
you know what? It was a fun time. It was a fun time.
And maybe you didn't sneak in between the RTM models in there. So
yeah. I think I'd stick out like a sore thumb.
I'm just gonna wear just like a plain white t-shirt and just walk into that booth and just stand there.
Be like, and just like
I would wear a t-shirt that would be slightly too. It wouldn't touch my waist. So
right.
You get a little bit of skin.
Yeah.
A little taste. Yeah. That would put people off, wouldn't it?
So who's that guy? I'm a
model,
who's
that guy? He's about 30 years older than us. He's about 30 pounds heavier.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, and he's about 7 inches shorter.
Yeah.
Baby T, there we go.
Or a baby T. Well, awesome. I just want to remind everyone before we let Mark get to bed and Fox here. One thing we're doing is a KitSZN garage sale, which 100% of proceeds benefiting the Immigration Law Center of Minnesota. So there'll be more information on our Blue Sky and Instagram about how to participate in that. Mark, it's honestly been a great pleasure to chat with you. I love spending 2.5 hours on a Thursday night chatting just nonsense kits. basically the sicko nerd kit content that we are here for, and we love just to talk about. So we appreciate you hopping on here with us here
Not a problem.
tonight, and I definitely want to reach out again. I feel like there's a lot more that we can talk about, and I could easily make several episodes. And as Frank says, it's an illuminating conversation, and that's why we love to do this. So
I have stories upon stories upon stories.
That's what you were telling me when I initially reached out to you, and I'm so glad we got some of that here tonight. So,
all right.
So with that, I will do actually, you know what? The last thing that we do is one of our favorite segments as we say goodbye is what kit are you rocking tonight? Our kit show off. I'm gonna Mark, you're here. Do you want to just kind of show us off that Bastion kit that you got on?
It's one of our retro lines.
Ooh.
It's actually this is the sample that was printed. These are actually embroidered on the real ones.
Nice.
But it's kind of got a bit of a 1986 pinstripe, which is very close together. It's got like a double cuff thing going on.
I did notice that.
And a side panel.
Nice.
Love it.
We got some piping.
Yes.
And we got 1-inch overlap collars, which is bigger than we normally do. But they don't last. When I say they don't last, the shirts aren't built for 1-inch collars, I found out. So the ones that we sell are actually the standard 20 mil.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, hey,
so there you go. So there's a whole story about the dimensions of a shirt.
Right.
I'll get to that one next time. I'll write that down right now. Dimensions of a shirt, whole story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bots, what you rocking tonight?
I got some Juve on, and it's a really nice story too. I was at a store and it was on the clearance rack, and I bought it.
You got the you got what I dubbed the beach volleyball kit. It looks like a volleyball.
Yes, as I say, like, and I try to represent our boys across the pond and everything. So good old McKinney out there doing his thing.
Nice.
I feel like USA is kind of tearing up Italy, along with my boy Jamie Vardy. Love that man. But he's English, obviously.
Yes, English, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, I'm rocking here tonight. Charlotte Independence 2024's Native American Heritage Night kit that they collaborated with. I put the designer's name. It was a cool little kit. I had to add this to my collection from 2024. So.
Is that a Capelli?
It is.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. So I love seeing this because I know a few of my area clubs, Fort Wayne FC, not too far from me, they're with Capelli, and I love kind of what they can do if they let the creatives do their thing. So.
I'm in feuds with Capelli right now. Personally.
You know what? That could be another story of its own. So
it's a quick story. Can I tell it? So you already know it, right? So
I do.
So they the USL had a contest and for the Super League, and you just had like take a picture of yourself wearing a Super League jersey and enter it in. I won a $250 gift card from them. I'm like, that's crazy. That's awesome. They just give me the code. Go to it. It's not working. I'm like, cool. That happens. It says that it's already been used or something like that. Like the funds have already been gone. I'm like, all right. So I sent the email back, showed them the screenshot. They're like, we are so sorry about this. And I checked like LinkedIn profiles of the emails that were in there, and they're all like legit. So it wasn't like enter your credit card information and we'll give you anything like that. So then they sent me another code today. Still didn't work. I'm like, no. Like I have my shopping cart full. Like I have stuff for my boys, I have stuff for my wife, I have a couple things for me. And also their website, they don't sell like team jerseys.
It's all like team wear and stuff.
Yeah, like I can't even buy Super League jerseys, or I can't buy the Charlotte Independence jerseys or anything. It's all just like, workout gear, which is good because again, I'm training for a marathon. But yeah, so I'm excited to get stuff from Capelli. can't.
You know what? We'll leave it there, the cliffhanger for KitSZN votes for next Thursday. See if we get an update from Fox's adventure with Topelli. So we'll leave it at that. Everyone, we appreciate joining us here tonight. It's been a great conversation, enlightening, and yeah, well, definitely massive thank you to Mark once again. I'll say that so many times. I'm a Midwesterner to the T. I will say goodbye 7 times before I actually say goodbye. And just thank you so much. Great time. And yeah, we'll everyone here enjoy the rest of your night. And hopefully see y'all here next week. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.